Well, yes. You know, if I've got one, I must have 1,000. Case of the thing's never been opened. I just can't shift them.
It's the same with me. Stockroom's bursting.
Bursting with what?
Plastic lampshades.
Oh, those.
My 3 most unfavourite words. Plastic lampshade.
Why do we keep getting landed, Brian?
Company policy.
What does that mean? Mind your own bloody business?
Like all our plastic fences, they're made in Hong Kong, right?
Right.
The American parent owns the Hong Kong factory, right?
Say no more. Everybody's copying a bit while we have to struggle.
Gentlemen, you're missing a rare work of art up there.
Art who? Yeah, who's nicked the brandy?
Brandy?
You're economizing, Paul.
They still have to be written down and sold off. I could fill a dozen counters with them right now.
Tell the chairman.
The vicar's sister returns early from choir practice.
I say, Paul, are you sure we haven't seen this one before?
Quite sure.
I wouldn't mind it in the flesh.
You know, I'd swear I'd seen it.
I've seen one, seen them all, as the actor said.
Oh, wouldn't kick her out of bed, would you?
True, very true.
Ida's Leaf have a good game of cards.
Yeah, spoken like a true Englishman.
How are those Swede and mare of yours going, Paul?
Fabulous. Sales chaps reckon they'll put us on the national map.
Really? Yeah, what's wrong with Brian?
Left the kettle on.
I told him gin and shellfish don't mix. What are you retailing them at?
10 7-ounce packs, $3.15 a case. Beautiful, aren't they, John?
Very nice.
I wouldn't mind giving them a whirl.
Pleasure. To the store or home?
Naive question.
God,
Oh.
look at that.
I dare we went on to see that new play. Oh, yes, yes. No, I haven't seen it. Is it good? Well, it's very good.
2 more of these, please,
No, I'm
darling.
fine.
Make it 1, then, will you? Charge it, sweetheart. 474. You all right, Brian?
No, fine.
Or was it? Someone walk over your grave?
No, I just a touch of heartburn. I get it occasionally.
Well, we have been mixing our metaphors, haven't we? Thank you, darling.
But why?
Nothing in the film you objected to?
Oh, good Lord, no. Guide stuff. Cheers.
Would you like me to drive you home?
No, I'll be fine now. I'll just sit here for a few minutes.
Right. Well, I'll get back and see the boys well tended to.
You do that.
Well, I
What time does Mr. Marker get here?
I'm Marco. Do you want to see me? Here, come in. Sorry if I've kept you hanging about. What can I do for you, Mr.
Summers.
Now take a seat, Mr. Summers.
I want you to find my daughter.
Mm-hmm. How old is she?
She's 24.
Well, that took a bit of working out, didn't it?
Well, she's been gone some time.
Well, how long?
5 years.
You have no idea where she is?
None at all.
Not the vaguest?
No.
You know, Mr. Summers, this is a police job. They've got the manpower, the resources. I'm just one pair of feet. I could work a whole year on this and get nowhere.
Inspector Percy Fairbank recommended you.
Did he?
Not for this, for some other job. I kept your name on the file.
Yes, all right, Mr. Summers, I'll try. I'll try, although you must know the odds are fantastic. Now, what's your daughter's name?
Janice. I saw her last night.
I beg your pardon?
In a blue movie. A blue movie.
Have you got a photograph?
I jotted down a few relevant details on the back, my address, phone number, etc.
I imagine this was taken a few years ago, is it?
5 years ago.
Why did she leave home?
I threw her out. I didn't approve of... Oh, she was becoming a slut.
Have you heard from her between then and seeing this film last night?
Not one word.
And then why do you want her back?
Why? Well, she's my daughter, that's why.
She was your daughter the day you kicked her out.
Good God, man, have you the remotest idea what it's like bringing up a teenage girl today? Have you?
No, not firsthand.
Well, it's not difficult anymore, it's impossible. I'm sorry. You think I haven't regretted it? I've wished it undone 1,000 times.
Mr. Summers, the fact that you haven't heard from her for 5 years probably means she doesn't want to be found.
Aye, I thought of that.
Either that or something's happened to her. Well, these are possibilities that have to be faced. Now, if I would find her, 1,000,000 to 1 chance, but if I did, what would you do?
I don't really know. I'd talk to her, I suppose. I'd try to talk to her. Where would you start?
Oh, with the film. Where did you see it?
The Vale Hotel. It's out on the airport road, you know it?
Mm-hmm.
Room 474. Mr. Haley. He's the national rep for a frozen food company. Ice Line, you know?
Mm-hmm. Will he still be there?
If the room's paid for till noon, he'll leave at 1 minute to.
And he laid it all on, did he? The room, the film. Oh, did it have a title, by the way?
I believe The Parson Knows.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Who needs who? Do you need him or does he need you?
He needs me. I retail his product.
So, if necessary, I can lean on him a bit.
Uh-huh.
Oh, well, my rate is £6.50 per day.
Fine.
Plus expenses. I mention that because anything I get, if anything, will have to be bought.
Receipts?
Well, not if we want anybody to tell us anything.
No, of course not. I wasn't thinking.
Well, as soon as I've got something, I'll let you know.
I will. Try. Please try.
Yes, sir.
Percy Fairbank spoke very highly of you.
Frank Marker to speak to Inspector Fairbank, please.
72 £2 packs peas ice line. Got that. How's your boyfriend, darling? Sack him. Yeah, we might go somewhere one weekend, eh? 36 £1 packs prawns, Norwegian peeled. The Porsche, not locked. 3 dozen... 36, that is, £3 packs pastry, short crust. Look, leave it there a moment, will you, darling? Call it back.
Mr. Haley?
Yeah.
I've come to do you a favour.
Oh. How much is it going to cost me?
Absolutely free.
Can't afford it.
No, I'm going to take the films and the projector back for you.
Take him back where?
Where you got them from?
Who are you?
The man is going to take back the projector.
Like hell you are.
Pretty scampy, fluted potato fries, yum.
Good morning.
How do you think your company would react? I can just see the headlines, can't you? Blue Movies sell salmon fish cakes.
Who the hell are you?
Look, just give me the paperwork and I'll return all the gear for you.
It's Brown Summers, isn't it? You're involved in this with him.
Is he important to you?
Summers?
Yes.
Oh, really?
I hear different. Now, don't quote me, but if I were you, I'd do as I was told. Eh? Ah, dear old Soho, should have known.
Our frozen goods are no worse than anybody else's.
The quick and the frozen.
I mean, how the hell else am I going to get them in the supermarket freezers?
Just 2 films.
It's on that ticket. 2 spools, 400 foot, 8mm colour.
The Parson Knows, Fun and Frolic with Francine and Frida. Thanks very much. Bye-bye. Oh, Anything to pay?
You'll find that out, won't you?
And he wants you to find her after 5 years?
That's right.
I thought he'd written her off. You know, I have no daughter. You know the line?
Apparently not.
This it?
Yes, top one.
The parson knows. All right, Frank. Thread it up.
What now?
Why not?
Well, where are you going to show it?
Well, you got the screen. Come on.
Blue movies in the nick. Move the table down. Hey, anybody comes in, you'll get shot.
Thanks for reminding me.
Oh, well, do you know Summers? How long have you known him?
Oh, about 3 years. His wife knows my Gwen. That's how it came about.
But you never met the daughter, Janice?
Can't have done. She must have left before we met them.
Oh, dear. 3-point plug, 2-point hole.
Well, with the plug off. You know how it's done.
What did you recommend me for?
Me recommend you?
Summers.
Oh, he wanted someone to help out in one of his stores. A couple of hours on a Saturday. Security. There was a fiver in it. Thought you might be interested. Or at least know someone who was. All set?
Not yet. They'll probably fuse the whole block.
How does he ever expect you to find her?
Through this.
But they're 20 to the dozen nowadays. Show them at all the rugby club booze-ups.
Doesn't that bother you?
Officially or otherwise?
Or both?
Well, officially, I haven't got the time. Otherwise, I couldn't care less.
Not unless it happened to be your daughter, eh?
Ooh, the old Puritan backlash.
Percy, it's always somebody's daughter.
Oh, come on, Frank. It's part of life's rich tapestry, you know, along with your pawn shops, bent sauna bars and massage parlors. All set? Come on, Frank.
Yeah, all right. I think I've run on enough.
All right. My God. You don't honestly think this is going to corrupt anybody? You could show this at choir practice. Is that her?
No, no. That's her.
Pretty girl.
Yes, isn't she?
Can't you stop the film?
Not without burning it.
Hey, quick, pull the plug out. Oh. Thanks, up. Two cups of Holmes tea.
What do you mean, Holmes?
On Her Majesty's service.
Oh, no. Did you know Summers and his daughter had had this bust-up?
Well, I told you we didn't know them very well. Didn't even know about the baby until a year or so ago.
What baby?
Oh, Janice is. Didn't he tell you?
No.
Well, apparently that's what the last row was all about. At least, that's how I heard it.
I see. She gets herself pregnant and he boots her out. Oh, no wonder he's so touchy. It's a bit pre-war, though, isn't it?
Well, the fellow, whoever he was, wanted to go through with it, you know? Marriage, the whole bit, but she wasn't having any. About as stubborn as her dad.
Oh, well. Thanks for the use of the hall.
Well, good luck. I think you're going to need it.
I think so, too.
Oh, and, Frank, don't get arrested.
Excuse me. Afternoon. There we are.
What happened to Haley?
Flu.
FLU or FLEW?
The hot lemon and watery eyes kind.
Seemed all right yesterday.
Yeah, didn't we all?
Come on.
What do you want?
Plug. 5-amp fused.
There we are. I've got a client who's anxious to meet one of the young ladies in this picture.
The parson knows.
How will I go about it?
Search me.
Oh, promises, promises.
Push off. I got things to do.
I'll make it worth your while.
Friend, this place doesn't look much, does it? Doesn't even smell good. But for all of that, it makes $1,000 a week gross. Now, how gross can you get?
Oh, nice. It's very nice. But it's not yours, is it? It's you're just a front man, aren't you?
True, but I don't have to stoop for fag ends.
Look, you know the geezer who supplies the merchandise. Put me in touch.
Go away.
Oh, look, mate. If it comes to it, I'll walk round to West End Central, have a bit of a whisper in a certain CID man's ear.
I'm scared stiff.
How much do they pay you? 100 a week? You can't afford to lose that, can you? Look, I know how this caper works, don't I? You're only useful to them up to the time you've been nicked. One little conviction, that's all, and you're out.
It's a first offence. Just a fine.
You're deliberately misunderstanding me, aren't you? The fine's nothing. We all know that. But once you've got form, once you've been nicked, you're no good as a front man anymore. They dump you.
All right.
I mean, is it worth it? All I want's an introduction.
Go on this way. You can make yourself a lot of friends. I'll fix a meeting, right?
Tom.
I'll speak to Mr. Lucas, please.
Hello, sir, mate, all right? Hello, Romy. See you then, all right? Tone, you want a minute for me?
Mr. Lucas?
You can keep it, mate. It's last week's.
Thanks. What you drinking?
Well, seeing as you're buying, I'll have a whiskey. A double.
Why not? Another large whiskey here, please.
I didn't get your name.
How's business?
Which business?
Well, not the funny stuff, the other kind.
We exist.
You work in a film lab.
Now, let's not play This Is Your Life, eh? We both know why we're here, don't we?
The parson knows.
It's a great title.
Isn't it? Isn't it, there? I'm interested in tracing one of the girls in that film.
Why?
That's my interest. So,
Well, it's a good job for you. I've got a memory, isn't it?
why, an old film, is it?
You're kidding. 4, 5 years? You think that's blue? Get that on general release today.
You had something to do with it, didn't you?
Yeah, I souped it.
I beg what?
I slipped it in the night bath along with some regular footage.
Oh. And you've been doing the same thing ever since?
No, sir. I saw where the money stopped, so I became a distributor. You want to book a picture? I book one for you.
I'll bet you feel good going home in the tube.
No. When I feel good, is sitting in my E-Type, watching the others go home in a tube. So, how can I help you, Squire?
A name. Somebody actually involved in making that film.
Ah, well, now that's the $64 question now, isn't it?
But you hang on long enough and the funniest things become valuable, don't they?
Well, why don't we say a nominal £25?
But I was thinking more of a nominal 10.
You know something? $64 is £25. Give or take a few cents.
I still like 10.
No, if she's worth finding at all, she's worth 20.
Oh, well, you can't be too careful, can you?
You want the cameraman, Phil Craig. Craig. He used to be a first-class operator. Camera operator. He's lighting now.
Mm-hmm. If he was a first class, how comes
I
he...
often ask the same question.
Any idea where he is now?
No. The union probably have an address. Or you could ring round the studios. The ones that are working, that is. 2 calls should about do it.
Right, thanks very much. Same again.
Yeah, I wouldn't say no.
Can we have 2 more large whiskies, please? What's so funny?
I was betting this one would be a single.
Expenses.
Are you working for the husband? Father, brother?
Yeah, something like that, yeah.
Well, this girl.
Janice.
I'll give her a tip, mate. Don't forget the convents.
They weren't very high on my list.
Well, turning tricks and dirty pictures doesn't leave far. I mean, it's a far cry from the Academy Awards.
Where do you reckon I'd find her? On the game?
Yeah? Or worse.
There's worse.
She could be dead. Cheers.
Cheers.
Free cakes, was it? That's right, yes. Cute. I get that. Do you want to order now, sir?
No, thank you, miss. I'm waiting for something.
Still waiting.
Still waiting. Mrs. Summers.
Percy, I'm dreadfully sorry.
Oh, it's all right. I want to go waiting a couple of minutes.
The car had a flat for 16 minutes. Bus didn't turn up. Minicabs couldn't help.
Relax. We'll order first, shall we? Then we can sit and talk.
Oh, tea and scones, please.
For two.
2 tea and scones. Cakes to follow.
Well, let's wait till we get there, shall we?
How's Gwen? I really must ring her.
Oh, she's well, thanks. She'd like to hear from you. Has Brian been all right recently?
Yes. How do you mean, all right?
Well, has he seemed preoccupied, worried?
Yes, but that's not unusual for him. He's a natural worrier, you know. He hasn't done anything silly, has he?
No.
I know he took a cab home the other night, but he never takes the car. He has these parties he has to attend.
It's nothing like that.
What's wrong?
Well, the point is, I'm sticking my neck out, and I'm not enjoying it.
I can't say anything. I don't really know what you mean.
Did you know that Brian had hired a private detective?
No. What for?
To find Janice.
Oh, God, why? Why ever now, of all times?
You did say cakes, didn't you?
Yes.
Bon appetit.
If it helps at all, I do know that she was once a drug addict. What worse can you tell me?
Well, a couple of nights ago, Brian saw a film, a sort of near-blue movie. Janice was involved in it.
Actually, in the film? Oh, God. Poor Brian.
It must have hit him pretty hard. Thank you. You see, I recommended this man, Marker, this private detective, to Brian a long time ago about something quite different. So you see, I've got a foot in each camp.
Thank you for warning me.
Well, I thought it might save some ugly nurse. She's alive, isn't she? And you know where she is?
Yes, I do. But I promised I
Oh,
wouldn't...
don't tell me. It's the last thing I want to know.
How close is this detective to finding her?
Well, apparently, his only lead is this film.
That must be years old.
How do you know?
I know! I'm sorry. That seems rude. What I'm trying to say is that... Well, everything bad that happened, and there was a lot, happened soon after she left home.
Well, he hasn't got much chance of finding her then, has he?
Perhaps he's easily discouraged.
Oh, that's one thing he's not.
What do I do?
Be prepared. That's about all I can suggest.
Percy, this friend of yours, the detective, Marker, could you not tell him something that wouldn't exactly put him on the wrong track, but would put him off?
Even if I did, he wouldn't believe me. And I won't. I can't.
Everything all right?
Magnificent. Make her day. Have a cake.
Mr. Craig, Phil Craig.
The very same.
I hope I'm not tearing you away from anything important.
Only the big scene where Paul Newman shoots it out with McQueen. No, it's a 15-second furniture polish commercial.
Not a breathtaking epic.
You could say. But I'm a little old for clambering up a 60-foot gantry with a tripod on my back.
Old, or what are you, 50?
54. And tell me which child wonder director wants a hoary 50-year-old doing his setups for him.
Well, any of them would, I should think.
Logic. You're obviously not in the business. Still, the Craig family eats again this week. And even furniture polish is a step up on Ealing Labour Exchange. Well, what have you got for me? A low-budget quickie or 3.5 months in the Sinai Desert?
Well, neither, I'm afraid. I wanted some information.
Ask. Ask.
Oh, 4 or 5 years ago, you worked on a blue movie skin flick, I don't know what you call them.
Me? Craig? King Phil of the 2nd Units? I'm sorry, you got the wrong guy.
No, I don't think so.
Nor do I. The question is, which one?
This was one with a girl in it called Janice Summers.
You really think that means something? That the name Janice Summers will conjure up an instant picture? I don't remember the pack shot from last week's beer commercial.
Well, the film was called The Parson Knows.
Oh, that's better. Well, a little better. Phew, was it 5 years ago?
Well, 4 or 5.
Life, where are you? Where did you go? Why didn't you wait for me? Or at least I catch up on my reading.
Well, you see, I'm looking for Janice. Well, what's so funny?
You seem a decent enough fellow. You don't understand. When you're making a blue film, you don't just stand around passing the time of day. You just hope that nobody recognizes you. No publicists on the set. It's about as chatty as the gents' toilet on Piccadilly Tube Station. You think about one thing, putting the loot in your pocket and getting out.
No, I take your point.
Janice Summers. No vibrations.
Well, does this help?
No, not one bit. Pretty girl. No bone structure. 10 years she'll be like any other middle-aged dumpling. That shocks you, doesn't it?
Well, yeah, it does a bit. I mean, after all, you saw a lot of her, didn't you?
I've seen the best. One more bit of tail, 2 more tits. It's just flesh. Film. Celluloid. That's what turns me on. Years ago, many years ago, I photographed a test on Marilyn Monroe. She had a mole on her cheek. Now, which cheek, right or left, I don't remember. So what chance has your little Miss Suburbia got?
Bill?
Coming. Have you struck that ceiling piece yet? Monsieur Truffaut. Well, I haven't helped you, have I?
Well, no, not much. Do you remember anybody else who was involved? Well, would you like to have a drink for your trouble?
No. Look, I'll tell you what. If you're not doing anything Saturday night, catch half an hour of the midnight movie.
Oh, one of yours?
An early Cold War epic. Lots of damp, glistening streets, day for dawn, shadows, low-key stuff, distant trains clanking, lots of moody. You could smell how raw it was. Phil Craig, by kind permission of James Wong Howe, Greg Toland, Arthur Edison and company. Cheers. Be lucky.
Oh, hello, Mr. Summers.
You left it unlocked?
Yes, I was only across the road. Doesn't look good, I'm afraid.
Nothing.
No, that film led nowhere. I spoke to the cameraman, man who made it. He's got no idea what happened to him.
No point in my talking to him.
No.
Couldn't you offer him some money?
Oh, I did. That film's 4 or 5 years old.
Yes, I thought she hadn't changed much. That doesn't help, does it?
No, not really.
5 years. What in God's name's happened to her?
Oh, it could be anything, couldn't it, literally? Even the Salvation Army.
You don't believe that?
Ah, it happens. Look, unless you want me to have a word with your wife
No,
about it...
I'm sorry. What were you going to suggest?
Well, just that unless you want me to approach it from another direction, you know, where Janice worked, her boyfriend's, girlfriend's address book, that kind of thing, I think it would be better to rule it off right now.
You think?
Oh, I do. You can follow a piece of string just so far.
Well, let me sleep on it.
Why not?
I'll call you in the morning.
Right. Say 219. Ah, morning, Mr. Summers. You have? Leave it there. All right, I'll make up a bill for you. No, not really. They're pretty unsatisfactory all round, isn't it? As you wish. Goodbye.
Mr. Marker?
That's right, yeah.
You're the detective.
Well, inquiry agent, Rose by any other name, you know.
Oh, I'm Mrs. Summers.
Sit down, Mrs. Summers, sit down. Very pleased to meet you.
You can guess why I'm here.
Well, I guess what it's about, why, is a bit more difficult.
You're looking for Janice.
Correct.
How near are you to finding her?
Inquiries are proceeding.
What exactly does that mean?
That means, Mrs. Summers, that I was hired by your husband.
How do you know that she's not dead?
Well, for one thing, there'd be a copy of the death certificate at Somerset House, and for another, you wouldn't have asked how close I was, would you?
That assumes that I knew.
Does, doesn't it?
Mr. Marker, if you tell my husband where Janice is, you'll be doing him the gravest disservice. Janice only left home after the bitterest rows. For 2 years or more, life was sheer hell for Brian as much as for anyone else.
Oh, yes, she told me. Well, words to that effect.
He forgets how awful it was. Now, Janice doesn't want to see him again. Ever.
And he's keen to make his peace. Your only child, you can hardly blame him.
But I do blame him. Oh, I suppose she was at fault, too. But you see, my husband always has to be in the right. It's part of the duty of being a father, to his way of thinking. There's a way back in Dundee in the 30s when he was a boy. God knows I've tried to get him to move with the times. But he caused it. He made her go.
Oh, yes, he's admitted that. Now he wants to put things straight.
Well, it won't work. Janice doesn't want it.
What do you want?
I want what's best for them.
Who's them?
For Janice and her father. She's married. You would have found out.
I see. Who told you I was looking for her?
Well, my husband, of course.
Not true. I wanted to have a word with you, he wouldn't let me. No, there's only one person it could have been. Percy Fairbank. What's he got to do with it?
I'm a friend of his wife's. He just warned me, that's all.
Why?
Friendship. But, Mr. Marker, could you and I not come to some arrangement?
Yeah, might be arranged.
How far have you got?
I thought you'd asked me that once already. Shall we say that, what with birth certificates, national health numbers, income tax returns, passports, it's not as easy to disappear as it used to be.
But I thought you needed official help to get access to that kind of thing.
Oh, what makes you think that Fairbank's the only policeman I know? Mrs. Summers, at the moment, I'm the only one working this case, but if your husband's really determined, he'll bring in one of the agencies. They'll find her, sooner or later.
The sender's address is on the back.
Tulmut, New South Wales.
It's about 100 miles outside Canberra.
And who's P. Henderson?
That's Peter, Janice's husband. He's an osteopath. They emigrated soon after he qualified.
Well, then why all the secrecy?
She just doesn't want Brian turning up on her doorstep, that's all.
Not likely, I would have thought. If I tell him she's gone to Australia, that should do the trick, shouldn't it?
Especially if you tell him that she never wants to see him again. Ever.
But I've only got your word for that.
Oh, look, Mr. Marker. It's over 5 years. No letter, no postcard, not even a telephone call. You're the detective. How would you interpret it?
Morning, Mr. Marker.
Morning, George.
Half a bit up.
If you please.
You look as though you lost the lost cord.
Yeah, it's about how I feel, too.
Morning, Inspector. And a double it shall be.
Good morning, Percy. How are you? Oh, pretty fit, thank you, Frank. Yourself?
Morning, Percy.
I've done that bit.
Aye.
What are you cudgelling your brains for?
Janice Summers.
Forget her.
Well, that seems to be the text for the day.
Now, look, you've had a good couple of days. Now drop it. You take any more money off him, it'll be false pretenses.
You're not joking.
No.
You seem very involved in this.
I feel responsible.
Why?
Well, I recommended you to Summers.
Oh, and I'm grateful, but do you have to keep checking on me?
Look, log up a few cushy hours. Eh? It's been done, you know. Sorry.
You're pushing me, why's that?
Come on now, Frank, admit it. This blue movie won't lead you anywhere.
Oh, I have admitted it. I came off the payroll 2 hours ago, since when people haven't stopped beating me over the head.
Well, what's the point of opening old coffins? Only going to hurt people?
The only point is if that's what you're paid to do.
Discretion is the better part, sometimes.
Besides, I've just been told where she is.
Where?
Australia.
Well, that figures.
Married an osteopath. Probably raising a brood of little slip discs by now.
So there's your answer. What are you looking so worried about?
I don't know. Something doesn't sit right.
For a moment, I thought you were going to use that magic word, hunch.
All this carry-on about a girl who's safe and sound in Wagga Wagga or somewhere, I don't get it.
Perhaps we're not meant to.
And what's that supposed to mean?
Nothing. For God's sake, it's just an expression. Have a whiskey.
No, thanks. Some other time. Oh, hello, Mrs. Forsyth. You won't remember me. My name's Marker. You did some wonderful things with my back some time ago. No trouble. The thing is, I've got an elderly aunt up in the Midlands who seems to think she's slipped a disc. Yes, it is, isn't it? The point is, who can I go to find her something reliable? Yeah, British School, yes. Thank you. Yeah? 5085. And they'd tell me, would they? Right, thank you very much. Very kind of you. Bye. Oh. Oh, hello. British School of Osteopathy. Can I speak to the registrar, please? I wonder if you can help me. I'm trying to trace one of your members, Peter Henderson, P.E. Henderson. He's left the country, and I wondered if you had a forwarding address. No. We owe him some money, as a matter of fact, quite a bit. Thank you. Hello, yes? No, P.E. Physical exercise. Hounslow? You sure? No, it's all right. I've got that. Thank you very much. Goodbye. Oh, hello? Is that the Henderson household, Mr. and Mrs. Henderson? Ah, well, Mandy, do you think I could have a word with your mummy? Hello, Janice? Janice Summers, that was?
All right, gentlemen. Look, Bob, I'll have to call you back, right? Fine. Very anxious for your money, aren't you?
Well, I've earned it, haven't I?
2 days, £6.50, £13. Expenses, £24.
20 of that was for the name of the cameraman.
All right. That looks all right. I'll send you a check.
Yeah, thank you.
What's this?
That's the address and the telephone number of your daughter.
But how did you...
I got lucky.
But how?
Don't ask.
Henderson? What does that mean?
It means she's married to an osteopath called Henderson. That's how I found the address. There's a child, too, a daughter called Mandy.
Is she here now?
Oh, she was when I spoke to her on the phone about 20 minutes ago.
Now I've got it, I don't know what to do.
Well, you've got two choices, haven't you? One, you can use it. Two, you can drop it in the wastepaper basket.
I wonder, after all these years, maybe she's forgiven me.
I wouldn't bank on it.
Why do you say that?
She's only a few seconds away on the other end of that phone. She's never rung you. Speaks for itself.
Well, leave it with me.
Huh?
Thank you. Thank you very much. Is she here? I'd like to talk to her. Alone.
She's bathing the little girl.
Can't you do that?
I'll ask her to come down. Come in.
Perhaps you'll send her down. When do you go?
Thursday.
Where?
Australia.
Australia? Where's your husband?
He's out there already.
Thank you. Do you mind if I smoke? You've hardly changed. I don't really know where to begin.
Why begin at all? You found us, seen us. Isn't that enough?
Janice, it wasn't all my fault. You and your mother, you played it so close. There was no room for me.
Room to do what?
To do anything to help.
Help?
It was always, Mummy, kiss it better. Mummy, do this. Mummy, do that. Right the way through. You never came to me. Never.
I came once.
Even then, well, 4 other people knew before I did. Always keeping the good things to tell her. What the teacher said. I remember once coming to collect you from school, walking you home. When we got there, you ran straight upstairs to tell her that you'd come top in French. You'd kept that to yourself, nursing it all the way home. Kept it to share with her.
My problems, my friends, they didn't interest you.
That's not true!
Yes, it is! Oh, 30 seconds and we're arguing again.
Janice, you know me. I'm not the sort to apologize to people easily. I've come here today to do one thing. Could you forgive me? Please?
No. The answer's no.
You're going to go and leave it like this?
I didn't ask you to come. Hiring your private Gestapo to track me down, and then you come bursting in. No. I'll never forgive you. I'll never forgive you for the hateful things you said. And I'll never forgive you for the horrible, revolting things I had to do to stay alive. Never. You want a nice, clear conscience, do you? Well, you're not getting it from me.
Oh, hello, Mr. Summers.
Mr. Marker, I brought you a check.
Thank you. Oh, it's very generous. Thank you very much.
Oh, 5p off in our stores. Special offer.
Oh, thanks, I remember.
Well, I went there.
Oh, yeah?
Little Victorian house. Very nicely done up. I just parked across the road. I saw her. She's hardly changed at all. And you're right, there's a child. A girl. Pretty little thing. Well, I just sat and watched for a few moments. You know what I did?
Yeah.
I drove away. Couldn't go through with it.
Yes, well, you were probably very wise.
You think so?
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, what's the point? Opening up old coffee only upsets people.
You don't know how right you are. She's going to Australia.
Great country.
Good place to make a new start.
The best. Well, cheerio, Mr. Summers.
Thank you, Mr. Marker.